The audience applauded once again, but Sunjin's parents stood in the crowd, visibly annoyed. Sunjin's father turned to his wife, expressing his regret at inviting Kim and his disbelief at the things she was saying on their son's big day. Attempting to go up to the stage to confront her, he was stopped by his wife, who urged him to let Kim be. She sympathized with Kim, acknowledging that she was clearly still hurt. If venting in this way helped her heal, then so be it. As a woman, she understood the pain Kim must have been feeling and only hoped that one day she would fully heal and be able to give her whole heart to her future husband. The MC, visibly annoyed, took the microphone from Kim and turned to the audience, instructing everyone to take their seats as the ceremony was about to begin. Outside the venue, Woben stood with Yuna, waiting for their turn to walk inside before the bride and groom. They stood in silence until Woben, glancing at Yuna, took out a letter he had written for her and handed it to her. Yuna, looking at the letter, asked him what it was. Woben explained that he had written something for her and hoped she would read it when she was ready. Yuna smirked, sarcastically telling him that he should be writing letters to his new girlfriend instead of her. Woben remained silent, simply looking at her and hoping she would accept it. Reluctantly, Yuna grabbed the letter, saying she would read it in 10 years. Woben reassured her that as long as she read it eventually, it would be fine. As they stood there, the MC announced that they should make their way inside. Woben stretched out his hand toward Yuna, signaling for her to take it. When she hesitated, he grabbed her hand, reminding her that they needed to set personal feelings aside and do this for Minsu and Sunjin. Hand in hand, they walked into the venue, making their way to the altar. Cameras flashed as they walked together, with whispers among the guests about how well they complemented each other. Once they reached the altar and faced the audience, the MC announced the groom's entrance. Sunjin walked in with a smile, the audience clapping and complimenting him. He took his place beside Woben, who nodded at him and assured him that he was doing great. After a moment, the MC declared that the moment everyone had been waiting for had arrived. She instructed the audience to rise and welcome the bride. Slow wedding music began playing as everyone turned toward the entrance, anticipating the bride's arrival. Minsu made her way into the venue, her father holding her hand tightly. The guests gasped in admiration, mesmerized by how elegant and beautiful she looked in her stunning wedding gown. As she walked toward him, Sunjin couldn't take his eyes off her. Overwhelmed by emotion, tears of happiness streamed down his face. He had been waiting for this moment his entire life, to see his beautiful bride walking toward him in a wedding gown. He considered himself incredibly lucky to have her. As Minsu reached the altar, she stood facing Sunjin, who still couldn't take his eyes off her. Kim's heart broke at the sight, realizing that she was supposed to be the one standing beside Sunjin. The pain of watching someone else live the life she had always dreamed of was unbearable. Sensing her distress, her fiancé pulled her closer, whispering that she shouldn't worry and that soon it would be their turn. He promised to give her the most extravagant and grand wedding ever. Kim smiled at him, but quickly turned her gaze back to Minsu and Sunjin, unable to mask the hurt and fury she felt. At the altar, the priest instructed Minsu and Sunjin to face each other and hold hands. As they exchanged vows, they promised to love and cherish each other in sickness and in health until death parted them. The best man and maid of honor handed them their rings, which they exchanged before the priest officially pronounced them husband and wife. Without hesitation, Sunjin pulled Minsu close and kissed her passionately as the audience erupted into cheers and applause. Kim, watching them kiss, felt her heart sink, leaving her feeling hollow inside. Meanwhile, at the altar, Woben congratulated Sunjin and Minsu, expressing his happiness that everything had gone smoothly. As he glanced at the audience, satisfied with their joy, he noticed Kim standing from her seat, visibly upset. Before he could look away, gunshots suddenly rang out. Without thinking, Woben threw himself in front of Minsu, shielding her from the bullets. A sharp pain shot through his chest as he collapsed to the floor. The last thing he saw was Kim standing there holding a gun before everything faded to darkness.